All right. Hello.
Hey, it's Jess.
And it's Nick in the morning. It's great to see all of you on this 30th of June. I'm also incredibly grateful to not be doing this by myself on this particular occasion. Last week was fun, but trying to wrap my brain around that much content, much more fun to have someone to interact with.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, you and me both. All right, so we're gonna kick it off with a music video. This one's a little bit different. So this is not from Sprout. This is from the National Alliance of DSPs. And something that they've been doing during COVID-19 is some words of encouragement. And so it's about a 5-minute video, and I'm just gonna let it speak for itself. I watched it earlier, really enjoyed it, and so let's check it out.
So hey, my name's Michael. This is Pax. Where's Pax? Oh, there's Pax. Pax and I go get haircuts. And this guitar needs a tune-up. And one of these days we'll be able to get that done. But you know, just here to kind of share a few words of encouragement to direct support professionals. And thank you all for asking me to do it. You know, one of the people we lost to COVID was John Prine, who's an American songwriter. And the morning after he passed, I kind of woke up with this in my head and wrote a lot of lyrics and pared it down to this. But, you know, John had a way of capturing, you know, the human condition in very simple words and melodies and things like that. And so everyone could understand them and they were easy to access. And that, for me, is kind of like what we do and what direct support professionals do when they use person-centered thinking and person-centered planning to support people with disabilities, to listen deeply, to understand, to make sure that, you know, you help someone plot a path forward to a future they want in a way that everyone can understand and support. So I call this Pando Tree. And one of the things that really the only encouraging message I can send to DSPs is that the only way out of anything we face in this nation is through community and connection. And the Pando Tree is actually, if you see a forest of Pando trees, is actually one organism, one network of root systems connected, interconnected. And that's a good sort of metaphor for you know, human beings. So this is called Pando Tree. John been picking since the 70s. Body took a licking, now spirit's free. Some of all or nothing, that's a number 19. And I'm feeling awful empty this morning. Stay home, mama, I'll go out for you. Picking up the hammer for the lentil soup. Left the toilet paper out on the stew. Ties that bind are forever. Cheryl is essential, she's a DSP. Home full of people she calls family. Double shift again, no PPP. Doing it for $12 an hour. Stay home, brother, up in NYC. Your body got to boiling, but it let you be. In the hospital's filled to capacity. And the ties that bind are forever. Eyes gonna open in the morning. The sun will be shining in the morning. So from me and Pax, thank you for all you do. Don't let them, when the accolades fade, when they stop, calling you hero, don't let anybody forget what we're fighting for, which is a living wage for direct support professionals, for the ongoing respect and recognition for the work that you all do and the importance that you do in helping people with disabilities be fully included in their communities. So, peace and be well.
Woo! I saw that earlier today, and I thought, that is a great sort of follow-up for what we did last week.
Right.
And I think the part that hooked me was when he was talking about going out and shopping for his mom and leaving the toilet paper on the front porch. People are experiencing these things, and what's so strange is that this is going to be something that it's going to be a shared experience. Literally, like leaving groceries on the front porch is going to be a shared experience for all the people that went through this, that subsequent generations are not really going to be able to wrap their heads around, or at least hopefully they won't be able to wrap their heads around. So anyway, I thought that was a fun song, and what a remarkable, wake up and write that song.
It
so
was
relevant.
cute. And Pax was real cute too, sitting next to him.
Yeah. I had a feeling that you would like it simply because there was just a dog sitting next to him. So and we should warn folks that because we're on this crazy schedule now, this show might be a total hot mess because we're basically planning in 5-minute intervals and trying to remember what we had planned from weeks before and all that. So moving on real quick, I had to share this story, and again, I'm going to do a screen share because you have to see it to understand why this is so funny.
No. Okay.
So, all right, how do I get that full screen here? Let's see. Nope. There it is. All right. So this is what you have to see. All right. This is a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Here's 2 people in the meeting, and then here's a woman who looks like a potato.
Okay.
So this woman, her name is Lizette Ocampo, is the national director for People for the American Way. And they were doing a Monday morning check-in on Microsoft Teams, and she turned on a potato filter and could not figure out how to turn it off. So for their entire meeting, which I guess was like 20 minutes long, she was a potato.
How do you even focus?
According to this, they say that it was maybe supposed to be a 10-minute meeting and was 20 minutes because there was 10 minutes of laughter. But I thought that was, again, just a sign of the times. Like, who else is going to understand what it was to screw up in a Zoom meeting in a very serious setting and have to just forge through it? And on that note, I wanted to suggest, you'll see some of my boxes up here that I like to look up funny things that people have done in COVID-19, words of encouragement, stories about heroes. I read a couple of stories today about, 2 stories of husbands who have been married to their wives for 30, 40, 50 years. And their wives were in memory care dealing with Alzheimer's. Because they can't go in, what they do is they stand outside their window and sing them songs. There's a lot of negativity on the news, but there's still a lot of positivity out there, and I think it's great to dial into it. Lots of websites are just lists of these amazing stories that really raise your spirits. And, you know, I want to encourage people, you know, dig into that. Of course, you know, you want to digest the news. I watch the news every morning, but spend a little time trying to find the lighter side of things. It really helps your heart and helps your soul. I think that's important, right?
Absolutely. I think for our next budget meeting, you should do this potato filter. And we'll go.
Show up as a potato. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. All right. Okay. Sharing screen here. So start by saying that our interview process is going to be a little bit different today.
Yeah.
I want to start by saying that the reason for that is that we need you, High Hub community, to step up and come on our show. We want to interview our individuals, our families, staff if they're able, anyone who is willing and able. We want to interview you.
Yeah.
With the sort of the craziness that's happening with our scheduling right now, it's been hard to get folks on. So I think it's time that we start getting some of our fantastic individuals on. I've gotten to see a couple through Zoom meetings, and during the supply drive, I got to see Robin, which was fantastic, in person, right? You know, of course, wearing masks and everything, but it's something about seeing someone in person is just like, wow, you know. So anyway, we want to see you, want to interview you. So if you're able to help get your individual on the commuter with us, we would love to do an interview, and we can work with your schedule. There's no really set day or time. Full disclosure, we film this a day early and talk about the next day because we don't trust ourselves to be able to do it Tuesday morning and actually get it out. So we could film on a Friday or a Thursday or a Wednesday or whatever.
Right.
So anyway, for today, what we're going to do is Jessica and I decided that we would interview each other because y'all probably or might not know much about either of us. I've been at High Hope for about coming up on 5 years now, and Jess is relatively new, but we don't always get to see people. So I thought I'd start by just explaining how close the development department is. So Jess, you got married not too long ago.
Yep.
And I was involved in the wedding more than the average supervisor in multiple ways. So can you share a little bit about the wedding dress incident?
Oh, the wedding dress incident. Yes. Okay. So, gosh, where do I even start? I guess I'll start with, I got married in September and I had a wedding that June for my best friend. And in March, I had gotten my dress for her wedding. And when I got it, it didn't zip. And that's when I realized, wow, the holidays really extended itself and I need to fit in this dress. So I asked Nick to train me in the morning. So I would go to the gym and want to cry the whole time because I don't really like to work out. I know I should, but I don't. So I would wake up 5 a.m. We, get that done, and I would be really self-conscious about the dress fitting. Well, when I kept working out, and then in September I had my wedding dress, and it was like, man, probably a week before the wedding. Yeah, it had to be. And I wanted to try it on, but I could not get it zipped. And Zach was traveling. I asked my best friend. Yeah, Zach. And wait, what did I say?
He was traveling.
Oh yeah, he was traveling, sorry. My best friend who lived near was not home, but you know who was home? Nick and Alexis, and they didn't live that far from me. Yeah. Yes, and so I called Alexis, and I was just like, I have to know if this dress fits. So I got my wedding dress, went over to their house. Alexis was able to zip me in perfectly. It was just, dresses can be tricky with that zipper. And I walked out, and Nick was like one of the first people to see me in my wedding dress.
This is really true, funny. Yeah. This is utter madness, yeah.
Yes.
I'm sitting there thinking, this is not something that happens in a normal situation.
But when you're a bride panicking a week before the wedding, you'll
Yeah.
do whatever it takes just to make sure it fits. So
That's true. Yeah.
grateful for you guys. And yeah. And even
And so then when you got married, there was another layer of involvement.
yes. So Nick was our officiant, which was awesome. Gosh, that was just great. We couldn't have picked better. We were so happy, but it was funny.
Remember that people.
What?
I said, remember that people.
Yes, exactly. But it was funny because, Zach and I had talked about it, and, it was just so easy because we love, you and Alexis, and it just felt like it was right. We hung out with you guys several times, really got that friendship. So, but the way I asked you was kind of funny because you're, when you were in your cubicle and I was in my office, I was like, hey, Nick.
Right.
It was like how we start all of our questions. Even Nick has a plaque on his desk that says, hey, Nick, because that's how we start every question.
Yeah, that's actually.
It's like, you want to be our officiant? He was like, sure.
Yeah, well, it's not hard. Yeah. I'm like, what, free food? Okay, I'm there.
Exactly. So it was awesome. And so,
All right,
you were a big part of that day.
What's that?
You were a big part of that day.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it was a lot of fun, and your family, folks won't know this, but you're half Colombian, and so you had your Colombian family up, and they were so much fun to talk to and hang out with. So, no, it was a blast. We had a great time.
Well, what was not fun was like the week of the wedding, you kept going, the wedding's at 7, right? It's,
This is true.
Yes, just saying different times that was not correct and would put it everywhere. And I'm like, no, please don't.
I'm an older brother, and so I have this instinct that's to provoke a little bit of anxiety and needle a little bit whenever I can. So, and I just can't help it. It's just who I am. But so I also wanted to so you just moved into, well, not just, but you have recently moved into a house. I know because I have. Again, I was there to help them renovate the house. I've got the paint stains on my shirt to prove it. How's that going? Because I know you recently had a little bit of an adventure with that.
Yes. So the first weekend that we moved in, Nick came over and we had a big crew come and we painted the whole house. I don't know if I recommend it or not. It was a lot because we did trim, wall, ceiling, like everything. It was crazy. But yeah, it was a great time. Recently, we found out that our basement floods, which is not fun. So waterproofing the basement, doing all of that. And then my husband was like, we're going to make sure it never floods again. And dug like a 7-foot hole along the front of our house, like completely the front of our house you couldn't touch because it was.
You rented an excavator, right?
Yeah, he got a Mini X, which he was like a little kid on. He was so excited, just do all that. We did that again in a weekend. I don't know what it is about us doing really big projects in a weekend, but yeah. Well, it was a lot, but it's done now. We have like a mud pit in the front, but now we get to do sod, so it is a lot of fun at my house.
So when you're hanging out at home, you're basically on home improvement. It's this old house. You're just taking care of business. Yeah. Pretty
much. And I've just been like kind of joking because we do these really big projects really fast, and I'm like, wow, marital bliss. Like,
well, and to be fair, like Zach is remarkably good at this kind of stuff. I mean, if I was called upon to fix, to do some of the projects that Zach is doing, no, that wouldn't happen. We would either be hiring a professional or moving. So good on him.
Yeah, no, he does it. He literally does it all. So anyone watching, if you need
handyman
housework done or anything like that, he's a pro.
Right. So we're actually marketing ourselves now. If
Absolutely.
You need a priest, I'm here, and then if you need a handyman, call Zach. Yeah. There we go.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's been crazy.
All right. Well, should we flip the script?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right, bring it.
Okay. What drilling questions do I have for you? No. How's quarantine going? Are you still quarantining?
Yes. Yeah.
I am too. Okay. But some people aren't, so.
I mean, so I'll say this, sort of. Uh, right at the start of when this all, I mean, literally the week that High Hope closed, my wife and I got massively sick. And
I remember
at that time, and still to now, we've been unable to be tested to see if we have the antibodies. But it was a little bit strange, and because we had all the symptoms of coronavirus. And I also hadn't been sick in about 5 years. So I'm just a person that doesn't get sick. You know, I'm one of these lucky guys. And to get that sick and for that long, we felt pretty confident. And so we started edging our way back out. So I've gone to see my nephews. I took a solo vacation down to Florida. So I've been out and about. Of course, I'm not going to mass gatherings or anything like that. But we are seeing family and some friends if they're comfortable. I have a lot of friends with kids, and of course I don't have kids, but people don't know this about me, but I spent a summer as a second grade teacher, and I'm really good with that age group. So my friends' kids are in that age group, and so I tend to, like to go out and just like run around and throw things and have a blast. And I also have a nephew who's 4, who I've seen multiple times now. And whenever the family gets together, right? So we'll get together for like 3 or 4 hours. They talk for 3 or 4 hours, and my nephew and I like run around outside for 3 or 4 hours. He's the best workout I've ever had.
I believe it. And I bet his parents love that you run him around for
yeah, except that he doesn't seem to get tired. It's like,
really?
How are you this energetic? I'm dying, man. And I like to run. I like, I've done some big runs in the past. So
yeah,
he's remarkable. Hopefully he and I will get to share some running as he grows up. So yeah, no, it's not great. Haven't got to see my family, but we are seeing our family here in Georgia, which is very it's good for mental health, to see people and to connect, right? So.
Well, and you and Alexis are travelers. Y'all love to travel, so I bet this has been like really hard. Yeah.
It has, yeah. My wife and I met in grad school studying international studies because we both lived abroad so much. So she has lived and worked abroad in Japan and Brazil, and I was in the Peace Corps in Ukraine, and we've done a bit of traveling since then. About a year ago, we were in Japan to sort of scope out where she had worked and all that. So yes, it's been a little bit of a struggle to think that, for a while now we're not going to be exploring the world. But that being said, everyone is healthy in our families, and it's kind of like when you weigh your priorities, it's like, you know what, I'm going to count my blessings right now. I'm safe, I'm healthy, I'm happy. My wife is, my cat is, my mom and dad are, my sister and my niece and my nephews. So big picture, you just got to put it into perspective and count those blessings, right?
I remember your Tokyo trip because you had an awesome cat sitter.
I did. Yeah. So again, here's how Jess and I like to shake things up. So Jess is my preferred cat sitter.
Yeah.
Yep. She hung out. We have a cat, Clementine, that I think we explained before. We got out of a Walmart parking lot, who is absolutely spoiled. And it was, we were racking our brains. Like, we can't really trust her with anyone because she's so spoiled. And fortunately, at that time, you guys lived just down the street from us. And so you guys took care of her. And I was nonplussed, but I was completely fine with it.
Yeah, we did
No
great.
worries. My wife, I think, was the only one that really checked in.
Yeah, I think she did. Yeah.
Because I've seen you with your dog, and so I was like,
Yeah.
she's gonna act the same way. She's going to be more thorough than I was expecting, and so I was fine with it. Yeah, no, it was great.
That is too funny. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have to go back to traveling because I'm curious because I have I want to travel. What is it? The travel itch is what they say.
Mhm.
Where has been your favorite place that you have traveled to?
Ooh. All right, 2 places.
Okay.
One, this was from my Peace Corps days. I went to not Georgia, but the Republic of Georgia, right, which is just below Russia. And some of those smaller countries that are in sort of that region, the Kazakhstans, the Uzbekistans, the Turkmenistans, the Kyrgyzstans, their culture has just because of where they're located been so isolated that it's just so rich and pure and untouched by outside influences, that it's just amazing. I went there with some really good friends, and I just wonderful place. Hard to get to these days, of course.
Right.
And I have a hilarious story about the plane I took there. We had the Georgian Greco-Roman wrestling national team on the plane, and they were a lively bunch. Imagine violating all the rules of air safety over the course of a flight. But that was great. My number 2, honestly, would be I went to Aruba for my honeymoon, and I never would have thought that Aruba would be kind of as charming and amazing as it was. We did not stay in sort of the touristy area. We stayed basically in the equivalent of Airbnb, and in fact, our room was inside a shipping container, and so they didn't have a yard in this place. You walked out and you were on the beach, and you walked straight into a coral reef. And I love to dive. I love swimming. I love all that. So it was perfect for me. It's also consistently 90 degrees and not humid. So
that's lovely.
Yeah, it's not a bad place to visit.
So where are you gonna go next? What are you and Alexis thinking? Where do you want to go?
Well, we've talked about Colombia because you guys sell it so well.
Yeah, and my grandpa is waiting. He invited y'all
I know.
at the wedding.
I want to go hang out with Grandpa. I had a blast with your grandpa at the wedding.
Colombia is awesome. Go. But other than Colombia,
my dream vacation has always been, and I honestly don't know how we pull this off, but it has been Mongolia. There's something about a place that is so sort of mysterious and remote, and yet we know a lot about the lore of Mongolia, right? We know about Genghis Khan, we know about the Khans. It's also a horse culture, and there's also, check out the internet, but there's some interesting studies about individuals with autism going to Mongolia and it being really beneficial for them. Of course, we know that equine therapy is something that is beneficial for individuals with autism. And there's also something to sort of the cultural practices that seems to work well. So I think it would be really cool to go and check that out and hang out with horses. Of course, I spend my weekends. Well, I used to spend my weekends before all this started working with horses. So that would also be cool. I don't know. How about you? If you could go anywhere right now, well, not right now, but maybe when things are opened up.
Oh gosh, I don't know. We were gonna go to the coast of Colombia because we both have never been. We were gonna go in September, but that was canceled. So I still want to go there. I would just love to go to like Argentina, like Brazil. I want to go to Africa. Like I just have so many places. I just want to Australia, New Zealand. It goes on forever.
Because the world is fascinating. Yeah.
No, I just
absolutely.
love it.
I totally
can't wait to travel again.
I know, right? I mean, my travel plans lately are, well, like going to Jacksonville by myself. It's like, all right, well.
Mine's the grocery store. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, yeah. I don't think my parents have left I think my parents have only gone to their backyard. My sister's pretty similar. So, and I never thought I would be so itching to get out. I thought I would be able to sort of stay put longer because I'm a bit of an introvert. But wow, COVID-19 definitely took me to my limit and was like, all right, Nick, now you got to go out. Even if you're going to stand 20 feet away from someone and be like, hey, how's it going? It had to happen. So
craziness.
Well, cool. Well, if none of you let us know that you're available to be interviewed, Jess and I will just keep interviewing each other. And by the end of all this, you'll know us better than our own parents do. So please get in touch because we want to know about our friends at High Hope and we want to know what's going on, how you're feeling, what's going on in your lives right now, how you're coping. So please get in touch with us. And of course, you can do that through our website. Or you can email me at nreynolds, like Reynolds Rap, at highhopecenter.org. All right, Jess, tell us about social media.
Yes. Okay. So if you haven't already, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our handle is at High Hope Center for all of them. Oh, and don't forget to share the video.
And if you're willing and able to make donations, either monetary donations or of supplies like cleaning supplies or PPE or hand sanitizer, we are always ready to accept that. It helps immensely because we're burning through it. It's stuff that's used on a daily basis. And finally, we wanted to thank our donors. So, Jess, you want to kick us off?
Yes. Okay. I can get my list up here. Sorry about that. Okay, so big thank you to Carmen Long, Eugene Bockrath, John Cochran, Rebecca Lester, Trina Hornsby, Kathleen Bernier, and now it's you.
All right, I want to thank the Woods Family Foundation. I want to give a really actually extra special thank you to the Holly Lane Foundation, who recognized that our application, which was really specific, would be better suited if we could open it up just to be able to sort of respond to COVID-19. And they allowed us to do that. And they actually asked us. We didn't ask them. So that's unheard of and amazing. So thank you guys so much. Also want to thank Catherine Hay, Melody Messer, who made a donation in honor of Travis Pruitt. I'm sorry about how I'm going to say this next one because it's a last name I've never heard before. Ellen Atai, who made a donation in honor of Lisa Fazy. Also Bridget Hairston, who made a donation in honor of Lisa Fazy. America's Charities. So America's Charities, this is a unique one because basically it's a program that processes donations that come from deductions from salaries. So what we know is that someone out there in the High Hope world works for the university system here in Georgia, and they're having a deduction regularly made from their salaries, and it's coming through America's Charities. So if you're that person, thank you so much. Let us know that it's you so that we can thank you in person, because usually with these salary deductions, we don't necessarily know that it's you, and we want to thank you in person. We really do appreciate it. And then finally, I want to thank our CEO, Susan. Susan makes an annual makes donations on a quarterly basis. She obviously appreciates what High Hope stands for and represents. And so thank you, Susan. And just had a bug flying from my face.
I was like, oh wow, that's an interesting clap for Susan.
I know, yeah. Got a nap. Anyway, so yeah, thank all of you. It's honestly, because of the folks that are stepping up right now and making donations, especially considering that statistically speaking, donations have been dropping off because understandably, right? Because
Right.
folks need to know what the future holds. But those of you that are able to step up and help us out, we really do appreciate it. And you are going to be the reason that we emerge from this strong and ready to serve your loved ones and our loved ones, really, and thrive for 60 more years. So thank you so much.
Well, I got more people to thank.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, so big thank you to board member Chris Chrisman, board member Yvonne Whitaker, and Ona Sanders. Thank you, Grammy, for your donation.
Yes. And what's funny is Jessica mentioned, she was like, yeah, my grandparents donated. And I was like, I don't think so. And then I went back and like, oh, right, yes. And because it's dedicated to you.
Yes, she does that every time.
Yeah. Her grandma dedicates in honor of Jessica, which I think is awesome.
It's cute.
Yeah, that's awesome. And of course, 2 board members there. So
Right. Yep.
we love those guys. You all have met Yvonne. She was on one of our previous shows.
Mm-hmm.
See, maybe if we can get Chris on, he's a fantastic art collector.
That would be fun.
Really interesting to talk to. So, all right, folks. Well, that's all we've got for today. We probably went on long because we hadn't actually been able to do this, and you know that this is the best part of our week.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it was great to see you, Jess. And we won't be on next week, but we'll be on the week after, hopefully. So good to see you, and everyone take care and be safe and be happy and healthy.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.